revisiting our 2023 logistics and supply chain predictions. At the beginning of 2023, we at Intech shared a number of predictions for how the logistics and supply chain arena would shape up as the year went on. Now, halfway through 2023, we can comfortably say some of those were on point and give ourselves a pat on the back, while we can just as comfortably say we missed the mark on a couple. Back that rescinded. Let's take a closer look as we revisit our 2023 logistics and supply chain predictions. Correct. Rate wars. We could not have picked a better phrase in the expectation of rate declines. Since the beginning of the year, freight providers have been repeatedly hit with RFQs, requests for quotes, and mini freight bids. Some shippers have done as many as 4 rebids in the first 6 months of the year. This has been a very successful tactic by shippers, as incumbent carriers and freight brokers know the importance of keeping customers rather than losing them to a competitor, and the difficulty of trying to win them back. Correct. Depressed volumes. This is certainly related to the first prediction, and was really an easy call even back in January. After having 2 record-breaking years, it was inevitable for volumes to push lower. The decrease began in the second half of 2022, and history has shown us downturns last a minimum of 1 year. Off the mark. The return of intermodal. We thought intermodal volumes would come back to a more normalized state, but we should have known better. Why did we predict this, though? Largely because a potential rail workers' strike was averted late last year, removing a worry for shippers. The reason we say we should have known better, though, is historically intermodal volume does not return in a meaningful way until the trucking market begins a recovery of its own, which, spoiler alert, hasn't happened yet. Correct. Okay, back to the back pat. Widening equipment availability. Trucking and intermodal companies have equipment like containers and chassis idled at various depots across the U.S. because volumes have been depressed. Quite the turnaround from the last couple of years when all equipment was at a premium. Even with the parked equipment, there is still a surplus in the freight market. There's a caveat to this, though, as we are seeing spotty areas where a narrow group of asset providers are out of equipment, even as they have trailers and boxes parked elsewhere, mainly due to the depressed freight volumes that have created an imbalance in carrier networks. Correct. Logistics and supply chain technology on the rise. After a hectic 2021 and 22, shippers and freight providers have extra cash to invest in their business. Those confident in their business models succeeding through the current freight recession are using the cash to upgrade their technology to better position their customer offering on the next supply chain disruption. Off the mark. Not to end on a down note, but rather a realistic one. Second half freight volume recovery. We thought there was going to be a freight volume recovery in the second half of the year for a number of reasons. The top 2 catalysts for the second half recovery were companies would be successful in right-sizing their inventory positions in the first half of the year. And the second, interest rate reductions would be on the table by the second half of 2023 because the historic rise of interest rates by the Federal Reserve would curb inflation quickly. Neither of these have hit the expected timing. Inflation has proven to be stickier than expected, and some industries are finding it harder to cut their inventory levels, with consumers spending more in the service sectors than consumer goods. Relatedly, services are less directly affected by the interest rate hikes. If you need help handling whatever the freight market throws your way, let us know. At Intech, our people, technology, and expertise can make your transportation strategy work for you. Call 317-208-5565 or visit our website, www.intechfreight-logistics.com, and hit the Request a Quote button to find out more. Please do give us a thumbs up below and subscribe to this channel to get future videos first. Thanks very much for watching.